Hello, and welcome back to CIT Tech Tips. Today we're going to be talking to you about what is BitLocker and how to use it. I am Luke Tierney, and with me today is Anthony Coffey.
What is BitLocker? BitLocker is an auto-installed encryption software on Windows machines that was first released in 2007. BitLocker allows users to encrypt and decrypt Windows devices. Encrypting the device allows another line of defense against the threat of losing information to someone else if the device was stolen. Okay, first off, go down to your search bar and type in BitLocker. This should come up. After, look for this shield looking thing that says Turn BitLocker On. To do this, you need to be an admin account. It's smart to save to a secondary file like a USB or some other drive that is not on the computer. So I'm going to scroll down and select my USB. Then after you finish, hit Next. Encrypt the entire drive to encrypt the entire drive, or if you only want to encrypt what you have used on it, but it's better to encrypt the entire thing. New encryption mode. Make sure that top one is selected. Alrighty. Then after that, it's smarter to just start encrypting. You can do run BitLocker system check, it just takes a little longer, but in our situation we don't need to. Next, wait for it to finish encrypting before you move on to the next step.
Alright, so now I'm going to be talking to you about how to add an encryption key, a PIN on the startup, so before you can even access your system and log into your account, it will require you to input this to make sure you are the person who actually owns the computer and you're not trying to just steal the information. And you're going to be doing this by managing group policy. So, first things first, hit Windows R. This will bring up a run menu. You see my thing automatically goes to gpedit, but you're going to have to type in gpedit.msc. gpedit obviously standing for group policy edit. So hit OK or hit enter, whatever you prefer. Next, under computer configuration, you want to hit administrative templates, not under user configuration. Computer configuration, yeah. And then just here, and then you're going to want to click on to BitLocker drive encryption after that. And then finally operating system drives, and you're going to find a bunch of different things. Now there's a bunch of different interesting things you could do. You could configure minimum pin length for startup, or you could do configure pre-boot recovery message and URL, but for now we're just going to require additional authentication at startup, which is what I'm showing you here. Alright, so you're going to click on this. You want to hit enable to, enable it. Now we're just going to require the startup key and pin. You can just require the startup pin, or you could just require the startup key. It's just personal preference of what you think would be best for your personal system. So hit require. And now we're going to apply this group policy. Applied. Now we can close these both, and we're going to want to open up the search bar. We want to go to PowerShell. This is like command prompt kind of thing, so you want to run this as an administrator. Must run as administrator. If it doesn't, it will not work correctly. So go here, wait for it to load. Now that it does, first thing we're going to do, we're just going to check manage VDE status, which is the BitLocker drive encryption. So here it is, just information about it. And you can see that it shows my system, the 237 gigabytes I have on the system. Not that big, but it does the trick. And how percent encryption it is, 100%. We did that in the previous step, if you remember correctly. And then just the key protectors that you are going to use. You can see TPM and PIN and startup key, that kind of stuff that we made in the previous step for group policy. Now we're going to actually add those protectors. And, well, that's what they are, because now we just made it so you have to have them, not what they actually are. So C is obviously just whatever drive you have. If it's A, B, whatever, just check. You can go to just file extension, and it's right here. Local disk C for me. And next, enter, not enter, but space, TPM, and pin, and start up key. So that basically just makes it so you're adding your, well, pin and startup key. And then just TP, and then whatever you want your pin to be. I'm just gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. Because why not? This is just an example. Obviously, don't use that as your pin. That's stupidly insecure. And this is supposed to make your system more secure, not less. Now, DSK, and then just whatever whatever drive your USB or whatever you're putting the startup key on. You could, I guess, hypothetically use a disk or something, but we're just going to use a USB here. As you can see, it's E for us. It might be different for you, so then just gonna hit enter, wait for it to happen, and as you can see, I made an error here. Let me just see what it is. Alright, so as you can see, I made an error here. It is not E, like here, it is just, I mean, it's not the dash E, it is just the E. And over here, just C, like this. Now we enter. And hopefully it works this time. And as you can see, my scroll is a little off, but here. And enter in it, and alright, it seemed to keep protectors added, and error because we've done this before on the system, but should work on yours perfectly fine. Now we're going to want to just go status, and you can see now it's all locked, and well, it will be locked when you reset your system, that is. It's unlocked whenever you're currently in your system. For some reason, my USB just keeps disconnecting and reconnecting, as you can see here, but everything else seems to be working fine. Obviously, the USB does not have encryption on it, but my thing, fully encrypted, seems to be good. Alright. See ya. Now we're just going to be showing you a few different ways you can check your BitLocker encryption status. So, like I showed you in the previous step, you can just go to PowerShell, run this one as administrator, and click yes, because we want to do that. And then manage BDE, aka BitLocker drive encryption, and then just status. And that shows you your status of your system. Here it is, fully encrypted, happiness. Now you can also just go control panel. Alright, that's widget, but control panel. Go to BitLocker. Here it is, manage BitLocker, BitLocker drive encryption. Click on this. Here's some starting information with just BitLocker on. You can also do a couple of things. You could suspend protection, change how the drive's unlocked, back up your recovery key, change the PIN, copy startup key. Just a bunch of different things you have the ability to do, but none of this is real. This just kind of checks if it's on here. Over here you can check disk management. Also see, you can see this. You can see what part of your disk is easily BitLocker encrypted. You can see most of it is 237 gigabytes, and then there's just 700 megabytes that not, and this is just so the initial just system can run to check if the BitLocker is, like show the BitLocker thing at the beginning. If you also just did partial of your disk, it would also just show you a smaller portion of your disk is encrypted, and then there would be an actual significant amount that was not encrypted. And now you can also go TPM management. This also just shows you kind of overview of the TPM side of it, and nothing specifically we're gonna look for here, but yeah, bunch of things you can do here. Nothing you need to do though. And yeah, and that's just a few ways you can check the settings, and yeah.
Thank you for watching this video of CIT Tech Tips on BitLocker. Tune in next time. If you enjoyed, check out some of our other videos on the channel, and remember to subscribe and like.